Hello guys, how are you all? This is Prashant. So I welcome you all to today's topic. Last time we were discussing about the using the libraries of Python. So I think we have discussed this topic already by mistake. That time I wrote here split, so I replaced this one. Okay, so today we are going to understand what is the random module. As last time I told you, we are going to talk about the random module in Python. Okay, so we are going to talk about the random module now. Now, what is the random? Uh, During a certain time of period, you are going to generate a number within the series randomly. Means the number is not going to repeat, or it will repeat. It will repeat after some time. Okay, so like that you can generate the numbers. So in for that we having the random modules. It will help you to generate the numbers randomly or within the series. So we have four kinds of random module here. One is random itself. As you can see on the screen, just now I'm going to change the pointer. Okay, as you can see, random is there. So it returns a number range between 0.0 to 1.0. Make it sure it will generate 0.0 to 1.0 like this. It will generate like this. Okay, so there are many numbers. You don't think that it is only one number. 0.0 to 1.0, it can generate many numbers. Okay, so the after this PPT I am going to show you with the help of a practical, so it will be clear to you. But it will generate the floating point numbers. It will generate the floating point numbers. Here you can see the syntax and method to use this one. Import random, print random, and dot random, and bracket on off. So within the bracket on off, you can see 0.0 to 1.0. Okay, 0.0 to 1.0. So you are going to get this type of numbers, and I'm make it sure it is not going to generate this number. Might be it will be the different number, but it will be the within this range. Okay, now let's suppose if you are going to generate a number asterisk 30, you are putting the asterisk 30. So whatever the numbers you are going to get, multiply with 30, it is going to generate that number. So here you can understand the concept to how to generate the random numbers. Okay, so this is the random. It will generate the number 0.0 to 1.0 and the floating numbers. Now the next is rand int. Okay, it is 2 already. I'm telling you it is 2. Okay, second point, rand int. As the int defines, it is going to generate the integer number, but it will generate the number within the range. Okay, you can see, you can define your range. So you can see here random dot randint 5 comma 225. It is generating 22. It can be 22, it can be 33, it can be 44. It will include 5 also, it will include 25 also. So make it sure it will include both the numbers. You can see here it is generating 1 200. It might be it is 34 or something else. This is clear to everyone, I hope so. So I'm going to move to the practical. So you can see this one. Here you can see, just now I am going to print a random number here. Okay, I am going to execute this command. So you can see any number will come, 030275518, something it is coming. If you are going to generate again, it is going to generate some other number. If you are going to generate, it is going to generate some other number. Now let's suppose if I added 10 here, or if I multiply by the 4 here, so that time it will generate, sorry, I by mistake I've kept here, multiply by the 4. Now generate the number. You can see that numbers are changing, but multiply by the 4. Okay, so like that it will work. Now the next thing, we have talked about the rand int. Now I'm going to generate a number between 1 to 50. You can consider as there is a student of there is a class, a number of students 15 in the class. You want to select randomly the students. So how will you select that one? So you can select by this method, roll number 1 to 50, and you are going to call, roll number 40 will come, 14 will come. Now roll number 1 will come. Now roll number 11 will come. Roll number 19 will come. So like that you can call the methods. Okay, so I think these things are clear. Now we have a next is uniform. Uniform is similar to random because both are generating the floating numbers. Only the difference is there, it is going to accept a list. In that you cannot accept the list because 0.0 to 1.0, but here you can give a list as like 11 comma 55, 111 comma 55. So these are the numbers. You can see random dot uniform and random dot uniform. So let's understand. Okay, now first of all we must clear the one more topic, then we are going to do the practical. rend range. We are going to talk about the rend range. Rend range is similar to rend int. Rend range is similar to rend int, but only the difference is there. You can give a step also here, means the gap, as we used in the for loop, the first point, the starting point, ending point, and the gap. The similar way we can give the steps here. So return a random number in a given range and integer value with a step. You can see the difference. Rend range 23 to 47, and we have to get the 3. Okay, by mistake I kept it here 389. It can be the 89 or 98. It is not going to be 389. You can see here 235. I am generating the 235 starting from 0. Okay, make it sure it is going to start from the 0 to 235. Okay, so let's understand uniform and rend range with the help of practical. So here you can see rend uniform. I am going to execute this number. It is going to generate the random numbers. Wait. Okay, now you can see 33.53. It is generating. You can see some other number, other numbers. So like that it is going to generate some other numbers. You can see 30, 32 times repeating, but backside numbers after the decimal you can see numbers are different. So like that it will generate the numbers. Similarly you can generate the numbers with the help of this also. 106, 109, 106, 77, 72, 81. So like that it is generating the number. Okay, now we are going to understand what is the rend range with the steps. Execute 44, execute 35, execute 44, execute 44. Okay, 41, 32, 35. Okay, one thing you can see here, it is generating 40, 40, 44 multiple times. Only the issue, because we have not imported the time module. If we will import the time module, then it will generate the numbers according to time also. So I think this concept is clear to everyone. What is the uniform, what is the rend range. Here you can generate these numbers also. 0 to 235, 32, 3, 57, 184, 75, like that you can generate the numbers. Okay, now another module we are going to talk about, which is very important for you. So here was the ending of this rend range module. Okay, so I have a few questions for you. If you can do this one, you can take the screenshot. If you can do this one, you can attempt yourself. Otherwise you have to tell me. I will make a separate video on that, these topics, how to solve the CBSE question papers related to random. Okay, so now we have another module, web browser. We have another module, web browser. If you want to if you want to open a URL on a web browser, so that time you require this import web browser, and it will help you to open the any website. So here what you will do, web browser.open, and it is going to open the given URL. Okay, you can give any URL, it is going to open. As like I have given here google.com, it is going to open the Google, and in the Python it is going to generate the true as a output. If it is going to generate true as output, means your module, your function is working properly and you are going to get the answer. So this is the thing that you have to understand. Now the next module, URL lib module. URL lib module, it is URL lib dot request. It is a complete one module. URL lib dot request, one module. The name is URL lib dot request. After that you can put the URL open, URL read, get code, get URL, headers and info, and these are the definitions what they will do. Okay, if you are going to read, so what it is going to do, it is going to get the HTML code of the file. If you are going to get URL, you are going to get the URL. So like that it will work for you. Okay, now this is the method to use this URL and the web browser. Import web browser. You can see import web browser I am writing here. So what it is going to do, it is going to import the web browser. In that web browser you are going to open a web URL with this name, and this name is going to read by this HTML code, and you have to print this HTML. After printing this HTML, you are going to get the HTML code of this page. Okay, after that URL, you are going to get the URL from here, and you are going to print the URL. Whatever URL is there, it is going to print with this, and it is going to open in a new web browser. Let's understand with the help of a practical. So here you can see import web browser dot open. I used Google here. I'm going to execute this command. Now I am going to, just now you can see my screen, it is going to jump to the web browser, and the web browser is going to start the, you can see here true. Now web browser is going to start, and it is going to start the Google. You can see here Google is going to start, untitled. Now you can see it opens the Google. So I think this concept is clear to everyone. Now I'm going to do back to my slide, or back to my project. Okay. So here you can see just now I use this. So now I am going to use HTML and read in URL lib. So now I am going to use URL lib request module, and I am going to open the YouTube, and this URL is going to get the HTML code of this page. Okay, now this web URL is going to get the HTML code of this page. So I am going to execute till here. I am not going to execute below lines. After that I will execute, because I have to print the code here. The code will come here. Now I am going to execute this one. It will take few minutes. Now you can see the code. Okay, this is the HTML code of this page. So lengthy code is there, so much lengthy code is there, so you can understand this is the HTML code. Okay, now I am going to convert these things in the comment, so it will be clear to you. Now I am going to execute these lines. After that, as soon as I am going to execute this line, it is going to print this URL, means this URL is going to print youtube.com, and it is going to start the YouTube on my browser. So let's see. Now you can see it is printing. Now it will say true. Now you can see it is opening the YouTube. You can see here YouTube is there. It is opening the YouTube. Now you can understand this is opening the YouTube. This is the YouTube page. It is opening. Okay, this is opening the YouTube. Okay, I think this concept is clear. Okay, so my dear students, now you can see this is also replying the true. True means it is a Boolean operator. Your code, your function is working properly. This is the thing that you have to understand. Now we are jumping to the slide. Now the user can create its own module. This is very important point, and listen be carefully. Procedure to creating a package or a library. You can create your package or your library yourself. You can create your function yourself. This is very important to understand, and you can create it very easily. So before go to that, you must read. As we know, Python packages are basically collection of the modules under the common namespace. Means your folder name is there. Under that you can create number of functions. Okay, create a folder with any name. You can create underscore int underscore .py file in the package. This is very important. I'm giving the stress on this point. When you created the file, that time you have to understand you have to create a .py file in that, and it should be a blank file. Or you can write down, you can make a notepad file. In notepad file you can rename that file and put .py to convert them into a py file as a Python file. Create your file with the function, save it with any name. Now in Python you can create a function and you can save it with any name. Now you can call the modules. Okay, now you can call the modules. Okay, so now let's understand with the help of a practical. Okay, before that, one thing I want to tell you, you have to save all the work inside this folder site package. You have to do all the work inside the site package. Now how you will come to know where is this site package. So to understand this concept, you have to import sys, and you are going to get .path. So what it will do, it will give you a path. It will provide you a path related to this file, means where you are going to save the file. Let me show you with the help of example. Okay, one thing I want to tell you, just now it is showing my computer address, my computer drive address, and I am using Mac. If you are a user of a Windows, then it will show local disk, program files, and something else. Okay, according to that. So make it sure that you have to prefer, but you have to focus on Python 3.7 and the site packages. So let's understand how will you get this. Now I'm going to do the practical mode. So now I'm going to execute this command. Let's see what it will give the output. So just now I executed the command, and you can see. So where you are going to get the packages, you have to understand that location: user, administrator, opt, anaconda 3, lib 3.7, site packages, and so on. Okay, so what you have to prefer, you have to go to the users, you have to go to the administrator folder, opt folder, anaconda 3 folder, library folder, python 3.7 folder, and then you are going to get the site packages. In that you can create your folder. That is the location to create your modules. Okay, so make it sure on that particular portion you have to create the modules. So now let's understand how to create the modules with the help of a practical. Now I'm going to minimize my screen. I'm going to first of all user, administrator, and all. So let's understand how to go that one. Actually in the Mac it is showing the Macintosh as the users, administrator. I'm repeating, wait, I will show you one by one also so that it will be clear to you. Users, administrator, now opt. Okay, now opt, anaconda 3. Okay, now it is going to lib, library, lib. You can see here anaconda 3 and library. Now python 3.7, python 3.7, python 3.7. Okay, now what we have to do, python 3.7, then we have to go to the site packages, now it will site packages there. Now you have to go there. Okay, it is going to open. Now here you can create your own folder. Okay, you can create a new folder. Just now I am creating the new folder. Okay, let's suppose I am going to give a my folder name, but make it sure whenever you are going to give the name, don't put capital letter, write down in a small letter, my folder. Okay, now I'm opening the my folder. Okay, this is my folder. I'm going to open that one. So now just now you can see it is empty. For the Windows user, what you have to do, right click, you are going to get new option there, and that you can click on the notepad and you can make it and rename that file _int_.py. Okay, so you can go with that, you can create your file. So just now I'm going to bring a file here. Any folder you can open, or any folder you can open, and you are going to get int.py file. Just copy this file, and move back to your folder and paste it. Okay, now double click over there and it is going to execute the file. Now it is going to open. Now what you have to do, you have to make it empty and save it. You have to make it empty and save it, because it is already I copied from some other folder, some other module, so it have the data of that module. So I'm going to make it empty. Okay, as you can see, just now I opened that file. I'm going to select all and empty this file and file save. I have to click on file save. Now my file is empty. I saved my file. Okay, it is going to open in idle Python shell. So now your file is saved. Okay, so function, I'm going to make a function in Python shell, or you can make in a spider also. For that you have to click control and new file. Okay, so I'm going to create a function here. So let's suppose I'm going to calculate the def percentage per. I'm writing, I'm going to calculate this. Okay, just now I'm going to create a function def sum. I'm going to get the sum of these three numbers. Okay, and return a plus b plus c. Okay, it is returning this only. Now I'm going to save this file. Now when you are going to save this file, you have to save on that particular location. Okay, just now you can see I'm going to change my folder location, users, administrator, opt, anaconda. Once you have give the path, then it will open that particular folder only. So similarly, you have to go to save the file. Now Python 3.7 side packages. Now my folder is there. So I'm going to save my file. I'm going to save it as a function1.py. Okay, I'm going to save as a function1.py. Now I'm clicking on the save. Okay, now you can access this function. Now I'm going to close this function. You can access this function anywhere. Let's suppose I'm going to access this function from my folder, import f1, where y equals to f1 dot sum, and you are going to send three numbers, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now print y. Okay, print y. Now you can execute this and you are going to get the result. Okay, I have not submitted anything else. Okay, it was my previous work. I was trying to save that files with the percentage. I created one folder in that, and I was sending the data and I was printing. So similarly, I have done just now for you people. I think this concept is clear to you. This is the last topic of this using Python libraries. You can create your own modules, you can create your own programs. Okay, so I think this concept is clear to you. You are going to understand the whatever we have discussed. Thank you, have a nice day. I hope you will enjoy the video. Share the video, like the video, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.